Are we recording?
Yes.
We going? We pogging?
Are we recording?
We're pogging. All right, Caleb.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to the first session of Xorvintaal Games of the Void. This is our new GM.
Welcome to season 3, everybody.
Welcome to
I'm
season.
so
5.
happy we're all here at this nondescript time in the middle of month.
A season.
We're playing from the fucking back rooms, to be honest.
That's true, dude.
But,
The fucking tall man has been watching me for 5 days, and I'm like, bro, get a hobby, you know.
Yeah, we
But
lost
yeah.
Juan for like 15 minutes. It was super weird.
I'm not even sure that this is Juan, to be honest. It could be a doppelganger.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not a skinwalker.
I didn't know changes. I didn't know changes in real life.
but yes, welcome back to Xorvintaal, Realm of the Void, Season 2.
Season 2 of Realm of the Void. Oh my god, that's crazy, dude.
Die. But yes, last we had left off then, the group managed, well, in separate instances, the group has managed to both deal with the Charybdis issue that was at hand, and currently has not dealt with, but repelled the Bandersnatch in their own way. On top of that, you were all, last we had left, sitting down, getting around, having some talks with Tosei about the current state of things and how everything is, and you managed to get a lot of the papers that Drix has from him to read them. Some of which being useful, others random notes of which is no use to you, and another that was of particular note to the group. That being the one within that details a message from another dragon to Lord Vakos. Written in the Protean tongue, an never-changing one. An odd one to write in as well, given how Protean is never really the same for long. But here you are, all after having read that. Drix is kind of taking what papers back that he can manage to sneak back into his coat. And I believe, yeah. Other than that, is there anything I missed?
Nothing was up.
I also believe, yeah.
Alright. So yes, we'll pick back up right there if everyone wants to. Otherwise, I have an idea of where we can hop to.
No, I actually don't want to play today. I've just realized I don't want to. You know, Caleb, pick up never.
Mel,
Goodbye.
shut up.
Well, no.
Yes, Riggif. Yes, Riggif.
I rest my case.
You Riggif.
Guilty.
So true.
Oh my god.
Okay, then what I'll say here is obviously, probably there is some internal discussion had about this, but you are still here on a bit of a mission at the moment. That being from Lady Zaya to essentially, as she has put it, subjugate the goblins. But as I imagine, y'all have a different plan and methodology to go about essentially achieving that. But there is still the matter of the jewels in the swamp to deal with, and on top of that, and relations with the leader has been a little rocky at the moment. So we'll say that Drix has received as many papers back as y'all and Tosei would allow, which may be none.
He can have like a handful. Anything that doesn't have anything on it.
So just blank
Okay.
papers.
Yeah,
I
just like
that.
blank papers. Anything that might be like a throwaway drawing, and papers that have like, maybe just like useless notes that got thrown away, like a first draft gone wrong.
Yeah,
He has 2 pieces of paper.
So looks at like one piece of paper. It has like, a bunch of funny numbers on the front and 3 digits on the back. See if you can guess what they are. And she doesn't give it back to him, and she steals his identity, and she commits identity fraud.
Bruh.
Not
And
again.
we'll say that generally the rest of this day is spent to kind of like rest, recuperate, and kind of gain one's thoughts. A lot has gone on. Some people hit and hurt more than others from the events of today. They might be healed, still a bit sore and such. And pick up on the following day. You all have been provided a place to stay, of course. It had a hole in it. That's been fixed. I forgot someone has mending, so there's
Kinda.
no longer there's no longer an oak-shaped hole in the wall.
But
That
man,
really
wouldn't
was an
that be a
experience.
story? Wouldn't that be a story, though, folks? Can you just imagine?
I'm sure there were enough goblins around that saw that and are gonna tell their children about it.
Imagine having a home in like a neighborhood, right? And you come home one day to your house, and then you see one of your neighbors has a squid-shaped hole in their home. 1, that's scary. I don't like that. But 2, imagine the changes to the property value of the neighborhood.
Actually, to be honest, the weirdest, like most abstract part of that is like, imagine owning a house.
So true.
But yes, as the day comes, what is everyone up to, I guess? We'll go around the table. Start with Kaguya.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm ready, but well,
You like me to hop to you next?
let me just ask a few questions.
Okay.
Post said you want to have that like one-on-one and talk, because I feel like then with how the situation, how the conversation's been going, I feel like it'd be more appropriate for us to speak, and then I decide to do if I'm going to, or then I decide if I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
That talk.
Okay. If we're all cool with that.
Is that not what you were gonna do?
Well, okay. You mean you already know my initial plan was to just do the thing without telling you. But
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so yeah, so like, is everyone okay with me having that one-on-one, or do you want to like, I want to do that? I actually really want to do this first.
Sure, go ahead, Juan.
Then,
I'm talking to
I guess,
folks.
okay.
Alright.
Some communication.
Okay.
So yeah, you meet with Tosei then, in sort of his grand little central palace with the giant lily pads within. Tosei, you're sat there as you often usually are, probably doing some level of booking or mediation for the goblins. It's often in the mornings that they're really not getting along with the lizard folk who live here. But,
Holding a little court session.
there are lizard folk and hobgoblins here, but they are in a very small minority. You don't really see them a lot, but they are present. Otherwise, it is like 90% goblins. But regardless, this conversation they're having is going in circles, and you, I would assume, likely wave them off when you see Kaguya enter.
Kaguya might be entering right as Tosei is waving them off.
Okay.
Oh, can I do my funny maneuver?
Which funny maneuver?
Why is it always funny maneuver time with you? Like you're like, all right, we're gonna.
Is there ever a time when I can't be funny?
No, it's true. Go ahead, be funny.
Okay.
Tose will remember this.
Very casual. Well, only a 7. Fucking slip into the room.
Like you're being sneaky.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
like?
you can. I mean, yeah, no, you can definitely try. I didn't roll too well on this perception.
Why do you want to give him a heart attack? There's no.
I'm not gonna give him.
It's
Tose wouldn't. Tose isn't intimidated by me. There's nothing I can do to.
And besides, Toasted can't have a heart attack. It doesn't work anyway.
Yeah.
Oh. I simply do not.
There is no heart to attack.
It's for decoration.
It's only for cosmetics purposes only.
Cosmetics, you know. Fucking.
Roll
still
that
not used to
perception.
I can't believe the
Perception.
organ market is so
All the way on the skills at the, let's say, kind of like towards the bottom, and then you
Sorry,
see there's like a die.
The
Don't
dice,
click on
okay.
there. Yeah. Yeah, no, that fucked me up too for saying.
Yeah.
This stupid ass shit.
Oh, you're clicking the word.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
Yo, you caught my shadow entering the room.
You just slip on in, and as like the rest of the goblins are like filing out, probably like grumpy, Tose just kind of like straightens himself up, and they're like, "Is there anything you need, Kaguya?"
See, stepping out of one of the shadows. You said you'd like to speak with me, so I'm here.
Any reason
Indeed.
that you entered this way?
Well, I mean, I could come in through the door, but see, Kaguya thinks for a moment. This is how I prefer to enter locations, anyways.
I see. Well, come, sit down.
So,
Gestures to one of the
walks over.
giant lily pads.
Walks over and sit down. Where like sitting down. Let's okay. Wait. Paint, like what does this room look like? Can you paint me a picture? Always been a little confused by like the actual aesthetics of the room.
I was trying so hard to get a map made for this. It kept failing on me.
Then
But
okay. Well,
I can describe it to the best
go
of my
ahead.
ability. Okay,
yeah,
so
it's
it's
your
like,
room. Go have hand with it.
it's like a big center room in this whole building. Above it, like it's like a big pond pool area in the like complete center of this building. There's no roof above it, so the only light that comes down onto it is sunlight. And there's like a little platform in the center where like a tree kind of reaches up and branches out and is like the only means of like shade in that one little area.
Oh, okay. I get what you're getting at now.
And around it are like various like plants and stuff that grow in the water, like moss and algae at the bottom. A few little fish, but not many. And the pathways and seating, other than the pillows on the island itself, are giant lily pads. And that's like the only way to get to the center island. And then the rest of the room around it is surrounded by like a little boardwalk thing, but just like no pier.
And
You
then,
just step on the pads, lily pads.
and then for like nighttime, because there's no roof, like do you use like bioluminescent plants then to give off light?
Yeah, that's what the algae's for.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Kaguya sitting down. Besides, there's another reason, I suppose. See, Kaguya takes a drink. See, this room, let's see, let's see, with its boardwalk and most of the terrain being water, makes it a decent challenge to sneak into.
That was only partly my intention.
Yeah. For your
Mostly-
training or for the goblins?
Mostly for the goblins, but
Hmm.
for the most part it was just for my aesthetics.
Yeah. Understood. Let's see, aesthetically, very pleasing.
Thank you.
But see,
Sometimes
but for the
the
goblins,
Sometimes the
Yeah.
goblin children like to play in it.
Sadly for the goblins, it seems it has not had the intended effect.
What do you mean by that?
Do you know how? See, do you know how I first met Stilk?
If I recall correctly, you saved her along with Dufty from some sort of beast out in the swamp. I can't remember right now.
Do I remember at all, Caleb?
Yeah, it was an assassin vine.
Damn. Do I have?
You
With
need wanting knowledge.
With knowledge locals, do I know if that's natural to the area, or would that be more of a knowledge nature check?
It'd be knowledge nature, but there's a lot of stuff that's technically local to this continent that isn't typically found in regular places.
Ah, okay.
So even without a check, you could probably safely assume that this thing in Swampy Forest is natural.
Okay. So I found it was an assassin vine that was attempting to consume your goblins.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a
Thanks.
bit hard to remember everything that lives here. Many of the plants are dangerous, and you can only keep track of them so much sometimes.
Say slightly unnatural, but in a way, it becomes natural, especially with all the other dangerous fauna and wildlife that exists here. Caleb, from my observations in the village, could I surmise that it's Tosei that keeps them out, or the goblins? And I'm not looking for the answer of it's both. Like, is it one or the other?
The answer is probably for the dangerous. What you mean by the dangerous things? That'd be Tosei.
Okay. Viper vine.
Viper vine. Assassin vine is a much lower CR thing.
I see.
Assassin bug.
Let's see. But of course, you're here, so the goblins won't face extinction just yet.
That's one way to put it.
Sadly, that's the only way to put it. Do you know why I had to rescue Stilk?
Because she couldn't handle the situation on her own.
It's because she was foolish enough to try to.
She can
And
be
worse.
that way.
And even worse, she was too weak to handle the situation on her own.
I understand.
All things that can be remedied in time, but sadly we're not. Do you know what is more dangerous than a fool?
And what is that?
Is a fool who believes they are ready. Of course, I don't mean to say. I don't want to insult you. I like what you've done with the place, and I think goblins in most cities and towns I've ever been in aren't treated well. It's a good thing you've done here. But I think for someone like you, no, for any of us, it would be too much to handle on our own. Both protection and teaching are difficult to implement in the same time frame. Tosei, do you know what happens if you were to ever leave this village?
It would fall to ruin very quickly.
Exactly. Part of I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I am here to get the goblins to come onto my side. However, I don't want to use. No, I refuse to use any means that would cause me to perform actions I deem unfavorable. I wish the goblins to join us of their own volition, as of any ally. An ally gained through fear is not one I trust. You've seen my attitude towards change.
I have.
So, do you want to know why I wish to test your guards?
For their own safety.
Their safety, our safety. See, it's the interest of everybody.
I understand.
Jose, I do want you to join us, and I want this goblin village. Say, both both are 100% required for the future. And I think that both you and the goblins would be safer if you were to come with us. See,
I can
we are,
appreciate
stronger
your
together.
I can appreciate your concern. And while I am still a bit unsure, I must admit that I have not had much time to take to train my militia very well. I left them in the hands of their old leader. I taught him what I could, and as far as I'm concerned, we've been doing fairly well with them as more of a support system. But I must admit I would appreciate if somebody could come in and help me with that, if that is what you're offering.
As I said before, what I see is not weakness, but rather the lacking of their full potential. For instance, if you were, hold on, let me recollect my thoughts. If you were to attempt to face off against the Charybdis or the monstrous crabs in the other area, you will be most definitely required, as goblin casualties would number far too highly to have any sort of meaningful victory. If I were to train your goblins, make them more than what they currently are, reach their full potential, would you consider joining us then?
Tessa kind of like scratches their chin in thought for a moment. And they sorry, when they look back to Kaguya, they kind of just, nod.
I'm happy to hear that.
I would like to see how you go about it.
I gotta warn you, it's not gonna be pretty.
I don't expect it to be pretty, but you can only imagine my concerns, considering where we both come from.
Well, like I said, the only thing I ask that you not interfere unless you feel that their life is threatened. And if it's training with me, their life isn't in any real danger. But I'm happy to hear that your interests align with the goblins. Kaguya stands up and outreaches a hand. Yeah, I'll reach my actual flesh and blood hand.
Oh. Like to...
The handshake.
Oh, okay. Tose will gently take it and shake yours with their also flesh hand.
You have a non-flesh and blood hand?
No, they're both flesh. It's just, missing one part of that, the other half.
The other half?
He's a bit pale.
Right, I forgot. Okay, I've always looked at that. I was like, "Yo, is my monitor fucked up? Why does it look like that?"
No, he just looks like that.
Okay, nice. I'm happy to have met you, brother.
It gets a bit of a smile out of him.
Okay. Well, say I'll be off. And you know what? I do the fucking body flicker, moves away.
He's like deuces and vanishes.
You're gonna need that key point today. No.
All right, I'll
Threatening.
use the key point to do it. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Well, yeah, that's
Okay.
just the end of my scene.
Going around, Rin. Would you be doing in the morning after, getting around, probably having your breakfast?
Be doing after breakfast? Well, not all the problems have been dealt with, so she'd probably just be waiting around at home.
Okay.
If nothing was going to happen, then she'd probably just no, yeah, she'd just be waiting around at home.
Okay.
Letting the action come to her.
Waiting around at home, Gift is as stationary as ever. Joy and Jerry are interacting with each other, which you don't often see them do. Often Joy is kind of frightened of the aura that Jerry kind of just outputs, of ever changing the light levels within the room. Which you see what's watching her steadily start to approach when she does not believe Jerry is looking.
Oh,
Change looks like he's waiting for some kind of permission to leave the house.
Change, you're staying here until ordered to do so. Actually, would you make me some more black tea?
Would I, or am I going to?
You will be going to Change.
I understand. More black tea coming out.
Isn't it a lovely day?
I wouldn't know. I ain't outside. And at some point, Drix does come back to show you more of his writing.
Oh, look at this. You wrote this all by yourself?
I need you to read it for me, though.
Oh, you don't know what this is.
No, I can write. I can't read.
Of course, of course. Let me see. And I'm gonna take a look at the paper.
Okay, some of this is very clearly not Drix's. A few of these pages are not his own. They might have gotten crumpled in because the majority of the pages are things you believe Drix might have written. He's been trying at haikus. You don't think he knows how to count, but he seems to get the idea of, a number, a bigger number, and then that same number again in syllables.
Oh.
Some of these are more like a paragraph, a longer paragraph, and a shorter one, and then sometimes they're more of a word, a bigger word, and then a same syllable word again.
This is very good. You are very close. But I wouldn't use lily pad here. You could just use the word lily.
What if there's another kind of lily?
This is a conundrum. Maybe we would reword this entirely.
I'll go get more paper.
Where are you getting this paper?
Drix's ears go down.
You're not allowed to have that.
Go on, show me. I won't take it away from you.
You want to see where I get the paper?
Yes.
Okay. He goes over and takes your hand.
Rin will take it. Let him take it to
Okay.
him.
He starts going out into the forest.
He's making it himself.
No, no, he's going.
Imagine.
Not the forest, almost alone.
No,
Falls
I'm
off
not
part
here.
of his skin. Here.
So Drix drags you into the forest. We get a scene like as you two have like left. There's like a moment of silence, and change comes back into the room. Ah, great! I did this for nothing. just some cold fucking tea.
Get
And
fucked
you see
with
you see him go over and like pour it on Jerry, who's like absolutely ecstatic about this.
it. Yippee.
But yes, Drix leads you into the woods. He seems to like follow some set path of his, which involves going around trees multiple times, looking for like some certain plants that he swears that he's marked. Though they look no different from like any of the other plants of their same variety you've seen around. But soon enough, he brings you to a rather gnarled looking tree. It's tucked between a lot of other trees. It looks almost kind of malnutritioned, yeah. And it has very thick bark on it. Kind of looking at it, you'd say it's probably at least, 3 inches of bark alone, which is a lot for a fucking tree in terms of like depth.
Interesting.
And he goes over and starts like picking and like pulling at the bark on this tree. And as he does so, eventually he pulls off a section of bark, and attached to the other side of it is a piece of paper.
Huh. Can I roll something to understand this tree?
Yes, this is that would be a knowledge, nature or arcana.
Nature or Arcana? I have
The shit
neither.
that I don't know is in my fucking.
I have
forest.
Gardener.
Gardener. I guess that could give you some info about the tree, but probably not what you want.
Okay. Mostly,
This
I
is,
guess for
perfect.
Gardener, the information I would try and want to get is what type of tree? Is this like a magical, a clearly magical tree? Is this something that you wouldn't really find if you were planting trees around?
And is this profession or craft?
This is a profession, I think. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead then. There's something magical afoot, but you don't know if it's the tree or something affecting the tree.
Hmm.
But he takes the paper and fits the bark back on.
So do more pieces of paper just appear inside there?
Yeah, I like Slither.
Rin taps the tree with a finger.
It is definitely a lot of bark, quite dense.
Very strange. I might have to bring Kara.
Okay, wait, you can't tell Tosei I'm getting paper here.
Of course, I won't tell Tosei that you're getting paper here.
Okay.
Now, what is this page?
Look here. It's a blank page. I can write on this one.
I'm going to pull back the bark
Okay.
and see if there's another page already.
We'll see. Pulling back that bark, you don't get a page, but Drix sees you do that and says, "Oh, you have to pull a different side." Each part only has one paper a day.
Strange thing. Oh, this part. Rin points at another piece of the bark,
Yeah, right there.
and she'll start yanking on the tree.
So you pull at it. It's you can see, like, as you pull at it, there's definitely like a square section here that is weaker than the rest. But it seems like the tree has been trying to like almost grow the bark back. But with a little bit of force, you pop it out, and on the other side of the bark, just almost attached to it, that you can peel right off, is a piece of paper.
Oh. Oh, okay, let's see. What do we get? 78. What's in my gotcha pull? What I'm getting?
This is in Draconic.
I have comprehend languages.
Okay.
I will spend
You
this.
also, let's see.
Is this like...
Comprehend. With that, you're able to read it, and that gives you the general idea that this is another spell scroll.
Ah, okay. I'm going to pocket this. Would detect magic help me here, or not really?
Detect magic could give you some information about this, yeah.
Okay, I'll do a detect magic. This giant roll.
All right, let's go piece by piece with the text. No, but
God.
yeah, it definitely has a magical aura about it. The bark itself does not seem to, but inside the tree, especially with the bark removed, the tree. What do you call the tree? The wood? I guess the inner wood is like giving off a magical aura. Not tree meat. That's not the correct terminology.
I think it's just wood.
Yeah. I feel like there should be a word for the exposed wood, but regardless, let me see.
Pulp.
It has two magical auras, which both emanate strong. Let's see. Conjure. One of the auras is conjuration, and the other is divination.
Oh, Carl would love to see this tree. Okay, Drix. Take me back to the city. I don't know how to get back.
Okay. And he takes you on what is a significantly shorter walk back to the city, where this walk probably took 10, 15 minutes, let's say. The walk back is straightforward and about 4.
I see. Rin doesn't notice anything as she's just like, yeah, oh yes, this makes complete sense. And I'm gonna see if I can find Kara.
Okay, so we will get to that, and before we do, we'll go to Hito.
Wow. It's me.
It's you.
It is me.
It's the Hito.
It is she. What's up? What's up, Caleb?
Hello. So what is Hito up to in the morning? Kaguya is after breakfast and whatnot. Kaguya's head off, and Rin was pulled off by Drix.
I think for now, I think she's just going to tend to things around the area. She, at this point, feels kind of bad about all the like chaos that's been happening since they came here. And while she doesn't like necessarily blame the other sister, she wants to like make a better impression. So I think she's going to try to like take care of their living space, and then maybe do some like just walking around town, maybe go to the marketplace, see what's going on there, and try to like immerse herself in the community.
Okay.
you know, she waters the plants, she feeds her rabbit, she waters the rabbit, she feeds the plants, sort of thing, and then likely after making sure everyone is safe and secure and nothing's going to explode around the house, just sort of head out.
Okay, so yeah, you tidy up around the house, make sure everything's in order. You two would probably notice like Joy trying to more approach Jerry and whatnot. She seems like she's typically been like quite spooked of him, but now she's actually trying to approach. Jerry, you don't think has like noticed at all.
She's just going to smile and kind of let that continue. She hopes. I mean, Jerry hasn't shown any carnivorous tendencies, so she thinks it's probably fine.
So far, Jerry has literally only eaten tea.
Only tea, yes. I don't know if he can chew.
He does have teeth.
He's a liquivore.
But he has a lot going on in there.
Yeah, there is a lot going on in there, and teeth is one of them.
Teeth is one of them. Also, other realities, perhaps. There's a lot happening inside of that swirly orb.
He seems to be doing... Regardless, he's doing a lot better than when he was a little sack of flesh.
Yeah, little angry, awful, terrible sack of flesh.
He's enjoying it. He's enjoying this. But yeah. Heading out onto the town then. Let's see. You see that within the Goblin Village, mostly what you see is a lot of like food vendors and kind of artisans and whatnot, people ploying not how would I put this? More artistic crafts, I would say, than artisanry and the way you could still do with like weapons and magic and things like that.
Okay, so like we're talking instruments, we're talking like visual arts, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And here I thought we'd left Thaumadoon. How different is this from like other art that I've seen? I imagine it's like a completely separate culture, so things are probably a little further out from what I'm used to.
Definitely. It has some similarities to, you know, things you've seen, obviously, cultures you've encountered, you guess somewhat kind of brought by Tosei and picked up by them. But they incorporate a bit of their own kind of goblin aesthetic into the things. They seem to be a very big fan of utilizing like the vines of the forest and whatnot. Things they hold together is typically used with that, and it's beaded or colored. They seem to prefer that over rope in most instances.
Huh. Okay.
And they don't seem to mind, I guess, what you would call temporary art. There's a lot of things they make that have, I guess moisture is a word, things that incorporate algae or other living things that probably won't make it long past their, with how they're being implemented or being outside the ground or the water and whatnot, but it doesn't seem to bother them much. You might even see them taking an older one apart to reuse things within it.
Interesting. Caleb, remind me, how long is like as far as I would know, how long is like a goblin lifespan usually?
Let me think here. Here we go. Goblins typically live a little... I mean, if they're able to get old enough, like 40...
natural age, not goblin, oops, I fell in a puddle and drowned age.
Yeah, that might be the typical goblin lifespan expectancy, but physically, 40 years, 60 at max.
Okay.
Yeah, they're middle-aged, around 20.
Something interesting about creatures with a short lifespan and their willingness for impermanency. She just sort of like pauses, watches them. She tries not to like creep anybody out too much, although that's probably hard considering how she looks. But
Drix literally lives here. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that.
that's true. But that's Drix. They're like
The-
used to him. This is someone big and blue.
I got living people here.
The goblins don't seem to mind like much at all if you're ever like